In a world overflowing with noise, silence emerges not as emptiness, but as a profound force. The Stoics understood that silence is not weakness, it is discipline, clarity, and power. To remain quiet when others rush to speak is to cultivate strength, patience, and wisdom. Silence is the art of listening twice before speaking once, the shield against chaos, and the mirror of inner character. In this journey, we will uncover 10 transformative traits of silence, each revealing how restraint in speech can become a weapon of intelligence, a path to resilience, and a source of deep connection. Let's begin. 1. Silence attracts attention. Silence is not simply the absence of words. It is a deliberate act that commands presence. When we choose not to speak hastily, we create space for thoughts to settle and emotions to align. This pause generates mystery. Others wonder what we are thinking, and curiosity draws them closer. In Stoic philosophy, silence is a form of self-control, a refusal to be dragged into unnecessary disputes. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, just do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. By remaining silent, we avoid impulsive reactions and preserve our energy for meaningful action. Silence also cultivates patience and mindfulness, allowing us to live consciously rather than reactively. In relationships, silence can shift perceptions, making us appear thoughtful and composed. In confrontations, it becomes a shield, protecting our intentions while leaving opponents uncertain. Silence is not passivity. It is strategy. It attracts attention, builds respect, and strengthens our ability to act wisely when the right moment arrives. 2. Silence confuses the opponent. Silence can disarm more effectively than words. When provoked, responding with quietness unsettles the aggressor. Seneca observed that silence is a lesson learned from suffering, a discipline that reveals strength. By withholding speech, we deny opponents the clarity they seek, forcing them into uncertainty. Consider David before Goliath. While the giant roared challenges, David remained focused, his silence concealing strategy until the decisive moment. In spiritual traditions, silence before authority, such as Jesus before Pilate, demonstrated humility and truth, leaving witnesses puzzled yet reflective. Silence in conflict is not weakness. It is a calculated disruption of the opponent's mind. They begin to question, to doubt, and often reveal their own vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, we maintain serenity and control. In the battle between noise and silence, the quiet voice often speaks loudest. To remain silent is to wield psychological power, to confuse without confrontation, and to preserve dignity while others exhaust themselves in futile argument. Silence then becomes the strongest reply. 3. Story time. Not every message requires words. Sometimes silence conveys wisdom more profoundly. The story of Anthony, an ancient merchant, illustrates this truth. In a heated negotiation, while others argued passionately, Anthony chose to listen. He observed, reflected, and waited. When the noise subsided, he spoke calmly, presenting a decision shaped by patience and clarity. His silence had already earned respect, and his words carried greater weight. Epictetus advised, "Let silence be your general rule, or say only what is necessary." Silence frees us from arrogance and impulsiveness, allowing decisions to emerge from reason rather than emotion. In spiritual practice, silence is also a way to hear the divine. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Anthony's restraint shows that silence is not emptiness, but preparation. It nurtures reflective intelligence, strengthens relationships, and demonstrates humility. Those who speak less often reveal deeper insights, for their silence conceals treasures of wisdom waiting to be shared. 4. The art of reflective wisdom. Reflective wisdom is the ability to pause, observe, and evaluate before acting. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Silence becomes the gateway to reflection, allowing us to filter emotions and information before responding. Those who practice reflective intelligence do not rush to judge or react impulsively. Instead, they cultivate serenity and insight. This art transforms communication, relationships, and decision-making. In the workplace, reflective wisdom fosters empathy and cooperation, while in personal life it nurtures peace and resilience. Aurelius himself used journaling as a tool for reflection, documenting his struggles and victories to refine his character. His writings reveal that silence and contemplation are not passive acts, but deliberate strategies for growth. By choosing reflection over reaction, we elevate our understanding and strengthen our moral compass. Silence, then, is not emptiness. It is the fertile ground where wisdom takes root and flourishes. 5. Silence builds strength. Strength is not always measured by words spoken, but by the discipline to remain silent. In debates or meetings, the quiet individual often commands more respect than the one who speaks endlessly. Silence shields us from rash statements and preserves our integrity. Consider the story of a young employee who remained silent during a company meeting. His restraint drew the director's attention, and his humility earned him a promotion. Silence here was not weakness, but strategy. It demonstrated patience, intelligence, and self-awareness. Stoic philosophy teaches that silence is golden because it protects us from unnecessary conflict and allows us to conserve energy for meaningful action. Silence also builds inner resilience, teaching us to endure without complaint and to act with precision when the time is right. By mastering silence, we project confidence, attract respect, and strengthen our personal image. True strength lies not in dominating conversations, but in knowing when silence speaks louder than words. 6. Resilience in adversity. Silence is often the hidden companion of resilience. In times of hardship, those who remain calm and quiet demonstrate profound strength. Stoicism teaches that silence is not the absence of response, but a deliberate choice to prevent emotions from overpowering reason. By choosing silence, we cultivate patience, endurance, and clarity. Resilience grows when we resist the urge to react impulsively, allowing the mind to settle and focus. This quiet perseverance builds trust in relationships and stability in personal growth. Silence becomes a sanctuary where creativity and reflection thrive, enabling us to confront challenges with composure. The Stoics believed that adversity is not conquered through noise, but through inner discipline. Silent endurance teaches us that strength does not require grand gestures. It is expressed in daily choices, in the refusal to let external chaos disturb inner peace. In silence, we discover resilience not only to withstand difficulties, but to transform them into opportunities for growth. 7. The art of deep listening. Deep listening is more than hearing words. It is entering the silence behind them. Imagine standing in a forest where every sound suddenly pauses. This moment of quiet reveals the essence of listening. Stoic philosophy teaches that silence prepares us to listen with humility, free from arrogance. When we truly listen, we not only capture spoken words but also sense emotions, intentions, and unspoken truths. This practice builds trust, strengthens relationships, and resolves conflicts. James 1:19 reminds us to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Such wisdom emphasizes that listening is not passive but transformative. In professional settings, deep listening fosters collaboration and respect, while in personal life, it nurtures empathy and connection. Silence before speaking ensures that our words carry weight and meaning. Those who master listening understand that every conversation is an opportunity to learn, not to win. Through silence, we cultivate attentiveness, patience, and compassion, qualities that elevate communication into a profound act of care. 8. Eliminate distractions. Silence also means filtering out the unnecessary. In a noisy world, distractions scatter our focus and weaken our clarity. Seneca advised that not every stimulus deserves our attention. By eliminating distractions, we create mental space for reflection, concentration, and purposeful action. Consider King David facing Goliath. He ignored the giant's size and noise, focusing only on his goal. This discipline illustrates how silence sharpens priorities. Marcus Aurelius practiced directing energy toward the present, refusing to be disturbed by irrelevant details. In modern life, distractions often come from technology, constant notifications, or trivial concerns. Choosing silence, turning off devices, pausing conversations, or retreating inward restores clarity and confidence. In business, eliminating distractions fosters efficiency and respect for time, as seen in leaders who demand focused meetings. Spiritually, silence opens a sacred space for prayer and inner peace. By filtering noise, we honor our values and strengthen autonomy. Silence is not withdrawal but empowerment, a conscious act of focusing on what truly matters. 9. Freedom from pride or arrogance. Silence teaches humility, freeing us from pride and arrogance. Marcus Aurelius urged freedom from perturbations caused by external forces, reminding us that true strength lies in inner calm. Pride often drives us to speak excessively, to prove ourselves, or to dominate conversations. Silence, however, reflects confidence without arrogance. In spiritual practice, Jesus advised retreating into quiet prayer, seeking connection with God away from public display. This humility demonstrates that silence is not weakness, but reverence. In professional life, humility expressed through silence builds respect and credibility. Consider an entrepreneur who demanded silence during meetings, eliminating distractions and fostering focus. His discipline reflected not pride, but respect for others' time and ideas. Silence allows us to listen, to learn, and to act without ego. By choosing humility over arrogance, we cultivate wisdom and strengthen relationships. Silence becomes a mirror of character, showing that true greatness is not in loud declarations, but in quiet strength and dignity. 10. Silence in negotiations. Negotiation is often a battlefield of words, yet silence can be the most powerful tactic. In Stoic philosophy, silence allows us to step back, reflect, and avoid being carried away by emotions. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You always own the option of having no opinion." In business, silence unsettles opponents, forcing them to question their assumptions. Consider Company B, which remained silent during negotiations, while Company A pressed aggressively. This deliberate quiet created tension, prompting Company A to reconsider its demands. Silence gave Company B time to analyze, reflect, and respond with precision, ultimately securing a balanced agreement. Silence in negotiation is not passivity, it is strategy. It demonstrates maturity, patience, and wisdom. By listening attentively and withholding immediate reactions, we gain clarity and control. Silence becomes a tool to protect integrity, foster fairness, and achieve sustainable outcomes. In negotiations, the quiet voice often carries the greatest influence, shaping results with calm strength rather than impulsive words. Conclusion. Silence, as revealed through Stoic philosophy, is far more than the absence of speech. It is discipline, resilience, and wisdom expressed through restraint. Each reflection shows how silence attracts attention, confuses opponents, nurtures listening, and strengthens character. In adversity, silence becomes resilience. In negotiation, it becomes strategy. By eliminating distractions and rejecting arrogance, silence opens the path to clarity and humility. Ultimately, silence is not weakness but power. The power to act deliberately, to listen deeply, and to live with purpose. In embracing silence, we discover strength, wisdom, and the freedom to shape life with calm dignity.